I'm going to be honest with you. If these 6 players can't step up going into the next year, Ohio State might be screwed. They might not make the playoffs. And welcome to the Hot Seat, a college football show. I am Trent, your host, as today we're going to be talking about who on this Ohio State Buckeyes team heading into 26 needs to step up to get Ohio State back not only to the playoff, because we don't want to just go to the playoff, to get back to winning the national championship. And I've had a lot of opinions recently on if Ohio State can win another national championship. But before we get into today's video, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're so close. We're 6 away. We are 6 away from 200. And the fact that we were at 100 2 months ago. Also, I'm going to pop up 2 logos on the screen really quickly. This one is the old logo. This one is the new logo. Let me know what you guys think, if I should actually change it. I'm thinking about it. I like the new one a lot. But also remember to hit the like button. It's free and it costs nothing. Shows that get likes get recommended double, sometimes even 3 times the amount as videos that don't get likes. I have also posted my Big Ten and my SEC power rankings. If you are interested in the video, please go watch it. It's on the channel. I'll pin it right here. That would mean the world to me if you watch it. YouTube's not promoting it, so they're not getting any views. And I put a lot of work into those videos. So if you were interested in seeing where your favorite team is ranked, I'm going to be doing one on the ACC and the Big 12 of these next couple of days. But let's talk about what I want to talk about today in this video. Excuse me. And it is what Ohio State players need to step up going into next year. We looked at what did last year's team suffer when it came to the end of the season. Well, we weren't able to run the ball as consistently. The play calling was bad. The offensive line was bad. And we weren't getting enough pressure on defense. Well, the pressure on defense is probably going to be one of the harder things because you're losing Caden McDonald and you're losing Arvell. But you're bringing Matt Patricia back in year 2. And I think that'll be a key thing is we all think like how good Patricia was. We forget, man, that was Patricia's first year. That was Patricia's first year. I remember what Jim Knowles was year 1 compared to year 3. Imagine how much better Patricia could get. Because there was problems with Patricia defense. A lot of the seams were open. There was a lot of seam shots open, and there was a lot of, we're going to really confuse you, but we're going to suffer a little bit from the quarterback run. And yes, you were spying Arvell, but sometimes Arvell would get caught in the pressure. Remember the first game against Texas, Arch would get out of the way of Kenyatta, who was caging, and Arvell, who was rushing off the edge, and then you're relying on Sonny Styles, who is a big, broad linebacker to, go run across the field super fast and go tackle a guy on 3rd and 10. And we saw Carson Beck do that a couple times. We saw Arch do it. They were good against DeMond Williams, and that's where I'm hopeful. Whatever you did against Washington, please do that again. But yeah, that's kind of for Patricia. But I want to talk about more specifically players. What players need to do better, and what do the players as a whole need to do better going into this year? So starting off, I wanted to start off with Bo Jackson. And there's been a lot of talks about Bo Jackson. There's stuff where it looks like he was trying to get more money, but he might have deserved it. Did he not deserve it? He's a freshman. Do you want to pay a freshman that much? I think we just saw that with he wasn't what Jeremiah was. So do you want to pay a freshman? I guess we paid Jeremiah and paid Bo Jackson that. Then him and Isaiah West, which kind of forgot about, they're injured currently. They're getting shoulder surgery. Both of them are, and they're missing all of spring. So you will not see him in the spring game, which you're going to see Jacoby Jackson really step up, which I am super hopeful for. We're also hopefully going to see Bo Jackson improve. Maybe the money that he's asking for, let's see if he deserves it. I wish he would have waited after his sophomore year to debate money and not the end of the freshman year, but he was starting. I get that, and he was obviously better than C.J. Donaldson and better than Isaiah West. So I get why he wanted the money. If you look at the 2025 season, he had 179 carries, 1,090 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns, 6.1 yards per rush. That was 31st in the country. I think he was number 1 or number 2 for yards and touchdowns from a freshman running back. And honestly, he should have had 10 or 11 touchdowns last year. We gave all of the, CJ Donaldson, if you were an NFL guy, CJ Donaldson is the Zach Charbonnet of this Ohio State team. It was, okay, Kenneth Walker or Bo Jackson, you're going to go 90 yards of the field, but on the last 3 to 5 yards, we're going to give it to Charbonnet. And CJ Donaldson was not very good. I liked him as a guy, nothing personal, but I was fed up of CJ Donaldson. He was not like a guy like Mayan Williams was leagues better than CJ Donaldson. And yeah, the CJ Donaldson, you almost wonder if it's a coaching thing with the breaking tackles, because not only could CJ Donaldson not do it to save his life, Bo Jackson, people call him Bo can't break a tackle Jackson. So I wonder if it's a coaching thing, but we saw Travian do it over Coach Locke, and Judkins do it, but also those guys were veteran guys who were $1 million backs. CJ Donaldson is not $1 million back. Bo Jackson still, I don't think, is $1 million back. But we'll see after the end of his sophomore year. But yeah, he needs to get better. He needs to do better in pass pro. We need to do better in pass pro. That's something I missed from Travion, is the good pass protection. But yeah, he has great balance. He needs to lose some of that freshman fat. I know they call it freshman fat. I don't even know if he is slightly overweight. But he's a little slow, and I expect him to get faster, especially going under Coach Marati's strength and conditioning program. My throat's drying up. So, yeah, I want him to get faster. He'll probably be another 1,000-yard back, and if he doesn't get injured, we could see a guy who leaves after his junior year, where he could be a 1,000-yard running back every single year. He started fresh. I guess he didn't technically start because James People started the first game. But a 1,000-yard back every single year he was ever in college. And I think that is special. I think that is very, very impressive. And I think with Arthur Smith coming, man, we're in for a ride. I think Bo Jackson can really take a step up, but he is critical because now without Carnell Tate and without Max Clare, it's like, okay, we got Jeremiah. We're going to do these heavy tight end sets. Bo, you need to step up. And if you're not, you're going to lose your spot to Jacoby Jackson. He'll probably leave. And then that's that. So yeah, he definitely needs to step up. Another guy who needs to step up, and a guy that I've been higher on than most, that's Brandon Inniss. We'll see if he's even starting. I think he's going to start just because of how Day is. But it's not Brian Hartline's scheme anymore. Brian Hartline was big on when you're starting your starting role, and I'm just going to keep you there all year. We had Julian Fleming starting for the entire 2023 season. What? Why? There was no reason for that. And the situation with Julian Fleming, absolutely horrible. But the fact that he was starting the whole season, Brian Hartline never rotated, and that's why Mylan Graham and Quincy Porter left. I don't think Mylan Graham was as good as we thought, and I'm kind of upset Quincy left. But also, Quincy, why would you ever come to Ohio State, bro? You were recruited. Your senior year of high school was when Jeremiah was a freshman, and you were like, well, I want to be wide receiver 1. Did your ass think you were going to... Did your ass think that you were going to start over Jeremiah? I don't know. So, some kids, I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm glad he went to Notre Dame because I don't want that type of idiocracy into that locker room if I'm Ryan Day. But, yeah. Back to what I was saying about Brandon Inniss. He could lose his starting role. Now there's a new head coach or new wide receivers coach that has different rules than Hartline. But also, we brought in Kyle Parker from LSU, and this was a guy that LSU fans were genuinely upset that he left. Not like, oh, damn that, there he goes. Kind of like how we were with Quincy Porter. No, they're like, damn it, dude. Kyle Parker left. He's, I think, a 5'11 dude. Man, he's fast, and man, he's explosive. And I like Brandon. He's a decent blocker. He's a tough kid. He was a captain last year. Wasn't super productive. His 2025 stats were. He had 36 receptions, 271 yards, 3 touchdowns, had 7.5 yards average for reception. That was outside the top 150 in the country. He had awesome touchdown receptions against Rutgers and Wisconsin. It's also Rutgers and Wisconsin. He had the nice one against Penn State a couple years ago. That one route on third down against Notre Dame, he was shifty. He got open and then we're like, okay, I want to see more of that. And then it's not there. But when he's open, he's willing to catch the ball. That's something that we actually missed from Carnell Tate in that Miami game. He's kind of like, I don't want to get hit, so I'm just going to try to catch it, but not really. But yeah, he takes hits in the Michigan game. He took multiple hits on critical third downs. So he needs to step up. We need to see like a 6, 7, maybe even 8 touchdown year for him, depending on what happens with Devin McKeown and Chris Henry Jr. on the tight ends. Because he might have to be like in this, or maybe it's even Kyle Parker. You need to step up, and we need you. He doesn't really struggle with drops. I don't think that's really. I mean, it's because he's not open. He never gets the ball when he's not open. He only gets the ball when he gets himself open. But yeah, I don't think he has trouble with drops. As a senior, maybe he's a returning captain. Who knows? I'm really interested to see if he can continue being a starter and if he can continue to level up, because he's really kind of been a disappointment. Remember, he was a 5-star. He was one of the South Florida Express guys, and he's been very disappointing. Not like CJ Hicks level disappointing or Julian Fleming level disappointing, but yeah, I mean, it actually is kind of close to Julian Fleming, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, the last one's on offense. This is kind of a collective thing. I did want to talk about the offensive line, and it's specifically the tackles. And I guess, really it's the entire offensive line. Carson Hinsman, he has for the offensive line as a whole, they have been tormented, frustratingly tormented by stunts. Not only did Miami and Indiana get sacks because of stunts, Purdue and Wisconsin were giving pressure. Remember that contested catch against Wisconsin Carnell Tate had? You know why that happened? It's because they keep stunning the hell out of our offensive line and everyone's mismatched. It's frustrating. A lot of it was Tegra, but Tegra's gone now. So you can't have the excuse of, blame Tegra. Let's blame Tegra, because I did it every day of my waking life last year. But it's a weird dilemma, because you had Justin Fry, and he could not recruit to save his damn life, and it was so frustrating. But man, when it mattered, he had 2 first-round offensive linemen, and when one of them was injured and one of them had to slide out to tackle, he got guys like Luke Montgomery, who had never started before, Austin Serveld, who had never started before, rotating constantly, and they took on Derek Harmon, Jordan Birch from Oregon. In the playoff, they took off Colin Simmons and the other defensive tackle that Texas team had in 24. Against Tennessee, James Pierce Jr. literally did nothing for the entire game. So they stepped up, and now we have an offensive line coach, Tyler Bowen, who can recruit his ass off, but his development, it's only year 1, but he is the weakest link on this coaching staff. He is the weakest link on the entire coaching staff, and it's been really disappointing. And yes, you lost, I think it's Marcus Johnson. You lost a couple offensive line coaches for that playoff run, but even before that, against bad teams like Wisconsin and Purdue, the offensive line was just disgusting at times. So yeah, I think they need to step up, specifically with the tackles. Austin Serveld, he hasn't even allowed a sack all year, so it's not even really him, but he might slide out to right tackle. If he's still a left tackle, he needs to step up, because he's not a true NFL tackle, and he's a decent college tackle. He's more of a guard, but he's more of a right tackle. Left tackle is much harder, so he was a captain again, so we'll see, but I'm a little concerned with him. Again, he didn't really allow a sack all year. It was Carson Hinsman against Penn State. He was just getting pushed aside. You had a guy coming right through the biggest gap you've ever seen up the middle. But Ian Moore, who is the projected either left tackle or right tackle, he's 6'6". He's going to be a true junior. Or I think maybe redshirt junior. I think probably a true junior though. He has never started before, so he's never allowed a sack. So none of the tackles have technically allowed sacks, but Ian Moore's never started before. And it's going to be interesting as you have basically an entirely senior and Philip Daniels Jr., depending on if he slides into guard. He was the right tackle last year. A very veteran offensive line. And yes, Ian Moore is a junior. He's an upperclassman. He's never started before. So I am really worried. I think that if somebody's going to derail the season, it's that, Ian Moore sucks. Saraveld, you're at left tackle. Phillips back at right tackle. And then we're taking depth away from center and the guards. We have to slide out Josh Padilla or Ian Moore at a guard. Remember Ethan Onyawa, he was supposed to be our left tackle, and then he could even be the third string right guard, which is right guard is the easiest position on the offensive line. It's not easy, but of all the ones, it's the easiest. Because a guard is easier than tackle and center, and if you have a right-handed quarterback, the right guard it's not the blind side for the quarterback. So, and most quarterbacks are right-handed, so it's the easiest position. He couldn't even get. Freshmen were going up from him. He was $1 million player, and yes, he was from Rice, but he even's got I wonder how much Tyler Bowen had an effect on him with the development, because he's getting invited to these senior bowls. I almost said Pro Bowls. These senior bowls, because NFL wise, they don't really care about how good you are. It's really about, as a prospect, how talented are you? And he has a very high talent. His measurables are very good. He just sucks booty butt. So, yeah. Now talking about the defense, there's 4 guys I want to talk about. First is Jermaine. In 25, he had 20 solo tackles, 1 forced fumble, 2 interceptions, and 2 pass deflections. And coming into this year from the previous year, it was, okay, Igbinosun, he needs to step up because Jermaine is the best cover corner. And man, did Igbinosun step up this year. He was phenomenal. He went from a 7th round draft pick to maybe the 4th or 3rd round. And it was really Jermaine who was damn, Jermaine's getting picked on. He got picked on in the first game against Texas a little bit. He was on that, allowed that touchdown. And it was good coverage, but he kind of got behind a little bit. Again, really, the big one was the Indiana game. Charlie Becker and Amar Cooper. It was Lorenzo Styles was on Charlie Becker. Amar Cooper was dotting up. Igbinosun was all over Surratt. Surratt didn't really do anything that game, but Amar Cooper was. He had the touchdown over Jermaine. He got exploited there a lot. And throughout the season, there was points where really Jermaine was the one that's hey, you need to step up. So coming into this year, he's probably going to be a captain. I love Jermaine. He is one of my favorite players on the team last year and this year. I love Jermaine Matthews, but as a senior, we need to see a really big step up from him. Because personality is great. He's a great guy, great personality. But in our biggest games, you can't be getting picked on like that constantly, especially against back shoulder fades. And yes, it's really hard to do that, but also you are at Ohio State. Come on, we got to do this. Another one, and a one that I was so disappointed with last year, is Edric Houston. Edric was a guy coming in off the national title team. It's hey, this is the guy he's replacing since Ty Lake and Ty Hamilton are gone. Caden McDonald is a great run stuffer, and obviously he became the best nose tackle, the best run stuffer, but are kind of rushing a defensive tackle. I don't know if you call it 3 tech or 1 tech. I get them mixed up, and I love football, but when I'm trying to memorize the difference between 1 tech, 3 tech, 4 tech, nose nose tackle, a lot of that is a little too advanced for me sometimes, where I'm just whatever. But Edric, being one of the defensive tackles, early was terrible against Grambling and multiple penalties. It was horrible. He was getting pushed off the field, getting pushed down by Mac against the Ohio game. I think it was terrible. So he got better, and it didn't really help him help the team. Didn't really help him personally that Tylon Malone really stepped up this year, and it took away a lot of starting time from him. So now coming into this year, okay, the defensive line, we have James Smith and Edric, who are the predicted starts. If you want to see my defensive starting lineup, it's on the channel. You should go see that. I have one for the offense, special teams, and defense. If you want to see the projected depth charts. But that's probably your projected. But you have John Walker, who was the transfer from UCF. You also have Q Russell, who was either an edge rusher or defensive tackle. I think he might be a hybrid a little bit, because I think he was like a linebacker and then edge rusher. He just listed as defensive line, so I think he could be used in a bunch of places. So there was freshmen coming in. Like, there are people in this room. It's like, hey, Edric, if you don't improve, you're gonna get passed up again. And as a junior now, he was great his freshman year on the national title team last year. I don't think he could handle the starting role. Now coming into this year, he needs to step up. Last year, he had 6 solo tackles, 3 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. He did play very well in the Miami game. I will say he did play very well in the Miami game, so that'll be a big thing. Another one, Earl Little Jr., the transfer coming from Florida State. And if you look at all these guys and just look at the stats, and if you're a box score merchant, he had 33 solo tackles at safety, 2 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions, and 2 pass deflections. Like, that's great. And he's a very hard hitter. He's a little undersized, but he also has had 20 plus missed tackles. I think it's like 20 something. I mean, that is unacceptable. And I know he's not going to be playing safety. He's going to be playing nickel, which is if you're in cover 2, it's the third cornerback. If it's cover 3, it's the third safety. In cover 4, it's the third safety. And then in cover 1, I think nickel. Is nickel still on the field? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I think it is probably one of the things, but one of the in cover 1. So I think he's always going to be on the field, but it's just depending if he can be better at corner or at better at safety. Jordan Hancock was great for the national title team. Last year, Lorenzo was very up and down. He was kind of injured a little bit, so that was part of it. He got better, then he kind of got worse at the end. So I don't know. He got picked on against Indiana a bunch of times. So yeah, he needs to step up. You can't be missing 20 tackles. You'll get benched immediately. And we'll see how this really shakes up through spring. The last 2 guys I wanted to talk about, one was Zion Grady. He, I think, will be a starter, or at least sharing time. He'll have a bunch of starting time and a bunch of reps. He had 7 total solo tackles and 1 sack. I think the sack came against Grambling. But now without Caden Curry, who I would have loved to have back this year, him and what we think might be Q Russell really need to step up. Because Q Russell is like, okay, you weren't good at Bama. You're not good here. He turns out not to be good here either. Because him and Q Russell and James Smith were kind of disappointments at Bama, but maybe it was just coaching. So, and they're like both, I think, 5 stars, like highly recruited guys. So if they don't turn out to be good here, it's okay, Zion. Hey, we need you. You need to step up as a true sophomore. It's a freshman last year. Last guy, Peyton Pierce. He had a fumble against Miami, forced a fumble, but losing Sonny and Arvell, who were the best, as much as you want to say Jacob Rodriguez, who had the best stats, Arvell and Sonny were the best linebackers in the country last year. Losing them, I think that Riley Pettijohn is going to be great, but I think Peyton Pierce is one of the guys where he's a great team guy, kind of like a not Steel Chambers, kind of like a Tommy Eichenberg a little bit. He's smaller than Tommy Eichenberg. But yeah, he'll need to be locked down too, because it's like Sonny was great. I think he's probably going to fill the role more of Sonny. He's way smaller. Sonny was huge, but Sonny in the Texas game, in the playoffs last year, in the Miami game, getting picked on by slot guys, you can't like getting caught up with running backs. Like, you're not gonna be able to defend that. You're not fast enough for that on like wheel routes and corner routes from the backs. So yeah, those are the guys who need to step up. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. We're so close to 200 subs. And also remember to hit the like button. It's free and it helps YouTube recommend the videos twice, sometimes even 3 times the amount as other videos. But again, that was all I have for you guys tonight. Everyone stay safe, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. And as always, thank you.